We decided to go ahead and just paint the whole car. If we went ahead and painted the fender and the hood and the front nose piece, we know the paint's not going to match. This car is too nice of a car not to have a nice paint job on it. So what we decided to do is just take everything off that we need to take off and just go ahead and finish painting the whole car, because we can get the paint cheaper by the gallon than we can by the quart. Like little spots like this right here, we can just go ahead and get them knocked out. A little pink dent here, so when we do paint it, it's going to be slick and it'll be shiny and not have a lot of pin dents in it. You see, we already started disassembling the back end. We got to do a few spots in the back bumper to get it ready to paint. So instead of just doing a so-called job on it, we're just going to do it the right way and be done with it. It's going to turn out better that way. We got a few little pin dents to fix and be done with. So with this being said, it's going to be a lot nicer car than just doing the hood and the fender and the nose piece, because I myself don't like a car being mismatched, especially on a Mustang, Camaro, and stuff like that. You want it right instead of having a couple of fenders and stuff like that not matching. So we decided we'd just go ahead and do it right the first time instead of having to worry about going back and doing it. And we're going to replace the door panels. I've already took them off and got them ready to go back on. So when we get back together, it'll be done and over with. It's just gonna be a little short video to show y'all, you know, do it the right way instead of the wrong way. As you can tell, we did a few hours today. One good thing about it, I don't gotta sand the hood and the fender or the nose piece, because that's already been done, and the door. So all we like now is just basically sanding the both quarters, the trunk, and the driver's side door, and pulling the stickers off the side of it, which we'll wind up putting the stickers back on it, or we'll go with something else. And of course, when you're doing a video, you get traffic. That being said, when we paint it, the wheels will come off of it and the hubs will be taped up. We don't get no overspray on nothing, because I don't like overspray. Stay tuned. In the next couple of days, it'll be painted, hopefully. If not, the first of the week. We have other projects we're working on, like the Volkswagen GTI. We're working on it, getting a clutch put in it. And we got a lot of stuff to do to get done. You can tell it's coming along since we've got it. I've been doing the Copart car since the late 80s, early 90s, and it's a lot of difference between then and it is now. Totally different. Used to, you'd go over there and you walk car to car. There wasn't no line bidding. Back then, you just had to go car to car and bid on it. And most times, there wouldn't be a whole lot of people show up to buy them, and you can wind up getting a car $100 bringing it back. See, now you have to compete with all the other bidders in order to get one, and sometimes you look up and get one. And we feel like, you know, I've been building, hold on a minute. Had to wait on the big brown truck to go by. That being said earlier, you know, it's a lot of difference in the way things are done now than it was then. We feel like when we got this and we only had one other bidder on it, and feel like we come out all right on it. As far as what we spent on it, what we done to it. my advice is to anybody buying a Copart car, it's actually cheaper to come along and buy another one for parts that you need the one you're fixing on, because after you get the parts off the other car that you need, you can always sell the parts and mash it or pass it on to somebody else and get your money back, and you won't have no money in the parts. So that's basically what we had in mind when we bought this one, was to buy a parts car to save money on the parts. That's basically how we wind up doing it. A lot of the parts we did have to buy new, like the bumper cover and the hood. They're so high that you just never can buy another whole car just to get the hood and the fender and all stuff off of it. Like I said, we did buy radiator, air conditioner, condenser, the coolers, the passenger side fender we had to buy, because on the parts car they was messed up. On the passenger side, you can see a little dent down there on the door. I'm gonna try to get that out the best I can. I don't have a lot of expensive tools to do it with, but I do it the old-fashioned way, do it by hand. So, you know, it'll turn out pretty good. These doors are like $500 if you find them used. A lot of times that people think these parts are weight in gold, and there's so many people that's building these cars, it makes the price go up. So if you find one of them, you grab what you can grab up, because especially if you can get them at a good price. My advice is, if you buy one that's hitting the front and you're gonna fix it, buy another one that's been hitting the back. That way you got parts to fix the other one, and you ain't got to spend a whole lot of money on it. A lot of times, a lot of YouTubers that's building these cars don't tell you about the changing over the salvage title to a rebuilt title. In our state, you have to go through a licensed dealer that has a license to change it and have it inspected, which that's an extra cost on us. You have to go through an inspector to be able to get the title changed over to a rebuilt title. In some states it's different. Some states you can just do it yourself. Like Georgia, you can do it yourself and have it inspected. And it's like over $100 to have it done. With us, we had to pay somebody to get it inspected. That's just extra more money that rolls in on the car that you don't get back, and it cuts down on your profit when you go to sell it. With that being said, you know, it cuts down on your profit. So any way you can cut corners to save money, we got some drag racers in the Volkswagen. With that being said, you try to save as much money as you can to be able to make as much profit as you can. You know, like I said, I've been doing this since the late 80s, early 90s with Copart, and I built a lot of cars back then, and it's totally different now than what it was then. You know, it's the bidding process is totally different. Back then, you can make a couple $1,000 off of a car and be done with it, and you wouldn't have to worry about it. But now, since all the laws has changed, well, it gets in your money. Everybody wants a piece of the pie, and by the time you get your pie's about gone. So with that being said, when you go to buy one, make sure you know what you're doing when you buy one, because you're liable to wind up with more money in the car than you can get out of. And a lot of times, I've had people tell us, why don't you just buy a car off of a marketplace? Well, I'll tell you why. Take a chance and look and do your research on marketplace and or your little traders, papers and stuff like that, and see if you can make any money off that, doing it that way. You can't. People want so much money for a car that needs a motor in it, and you're gonna spend $1,500-$1,600 replacing the motor. Well, then went the profits that you're gonna make off the car. So, you know, I'll stick to Copart cars, and that's what we like to do. That's what I did a long time ago, and I enjoy doing every last one of them. So, you know, it's I'm getting older. You know, I'm about ready. You know, get where we can point to doing some of them and be happy. You know. So that being said, enjoy the video, and I hope you can hit that subscribe button and the bell button, because we got a lot more stuff to do and a lot more videos to make. You know, sorry our quality of video ain't as good as most on YouTube. That's because we happen to use our cell phone. We're in the process. We're gonna wind up with one of them fancy GoPros, but it just takes time and takes money. With that being said, y'all hit that subscribe button, and catch you later.